to our new friend, Jim Green, and he's going to teach us all about this beautiful American alligator.
Hi again, everybody.
So, where do the alligators live? What region?
Well, this is called an American alligator because they live all over the southeastern United States. They live from Texas all the way around the southeast up to North Carolina. They're even in southeastern Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
So out of all of the crocodilians, they are the most cold tolerant. And this girl is 4 years old. She's 4 feet. Like we learned before, alligators grow a foot a year. Until they're 6. So if we see an alligator that's 6 feet long or less, we know how old it is.
Right.
But alligators live a long time.
Yeah, how long do they live usually on average?
Well, 80 to 100 is not unusual. The oldest alligator I know of lived to be 110.
110, wow. Wow. And what is the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
Well, that's a good question. We get asked that a lot. Florida is the only place in the world that has both. Nowhere else in the world do alligators and crocodiles live together, but they do in Florida. We have an American crocodile, just like we have an American alligator. And the residents in Florida, if you see one in the water, the best way to tell the difference is to look at the shape of the head. The alligator has a round snout like a shovel. Crocodile has a narrow snout, comes to a point, it's very sharp. But they both get about the same size. The males get about 13, maybe 14 feet, and the females get about 9.5 feet on average.
Okay, so now we know how big they get. What do they like to eat?
Also a good question. They are carnivores. That means they eat strictly meat. And because these animals can get very large, like we mentioned, then we have to be very careful around them.
Yeah.
It is against the law to feed alligators in Florida because we don't want these alligators to associate people with food. Now see, we can enjoy swimming in Florida. We can water ski, we can wakeboard because alligators are afraid of us. But when people throw food to them, it confuses that natural fear of humans they have, and they connect in their mind people to food. If one person feeds them, then they think everybody's going to feed them.
Right. Alligator safety is very, very important. And just make sure that if you ever see an alligator, please don't feed it. Because the alligators know how to get their own food naturally, and they don't need you to feed them. But you can look at them and see how beautiful they are, but just make sure you don't get too close. And like Jim said, don't feed the alligators.
Yeah, they are very well equipped to get their food and do their job in the environment. I think she likes you, Krista. But you can see on the end of her snout, that's her nose. These are her eyes up on top of the head, and they'll go down into a socket like a frog. Look at that.
Wow.
And they have 3 eyelids. They have 2 like us that go up and down, and 1 that closes sideways. And that's a clear membrane. That's their built-in swimming goggles. And this is her ear right behind the eye. Look at this. It's got a little opening with a door. So when she goes underwater, she can close that and never gets water in her ear. She can pinch her nostrils shut. When she goes under, never get water in her nose.
Wow, she can go underwater and she doesn't even have to plug her ears or hold her nose.
And all of her senses are very keen. Her sense of smell is 4 times better than a dog's.
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
That is very...
Her eyesight is better than an owl's at night. And her hearing is so good, she'll hear a boat in the distance on the water 2 minutes before you can.
Wow, so alligators are very smart. I have a question. How many teeth do they have?
They're born with 80 teeth, and they can replace each one about 6 times. So they go through a lot of teeth throughout their life.
Yeah.
And they do live a long time, so they depend on their teeth to help them catch food to eat.
Right. Wow. Well, thank you so much for teaching us about the alligators, and she's beautiful. So, just everybody make sure you say a big special thanks to our friend Jim Green for teaching us all about the American alligator. So if you have any more questions, you can go to www.kristaskingdom.com. And again, thank you, Jim.
Thank you, guys.
So how do we say bye with the alligator?
See you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator.